As we head toward another year of the World of Athletics Awards, we look at some of the brilliant names that have shown themselves to be some of the best of the best. And as we see them being nominated for the Rising Star Awards, we wish them nothing but more success from here on out. In today's video, we'll talk about two of these stars, Jackline Chepkoech and Anthony Ammirati. First up, Jackline Chepkoech, and some of her achievements hailing from the country of Kenya. Chepkoech isn't new to winning titles. She started her journey. At the age of 18 years, she bagged herself for the title of World Under-20 Champion. And wasting no time whatsoever, she then found herself in the pool of some of the top athletes, all of who have been nominated for the Women's Rising Star Award for 2022. Chepkoech plays the steeplechase, more specifically the 3,000-meter steeplechase. And in that spirit, she opened the season with a victory at the Senior Kenyan Championships. With a personal best of 9:26.12, she beat many of her fellow steeplechasers, who were way more senior than her. Let's learn more about the Kenyan steeplechaser. If Chepkoech's amazing PB of 9:26.12 wasn't enough to impress you, then we have news. Her stats in the Kenyan Championship were beaten by herself in just a month. With a new best of 9:15.97, she beat her own record by more than 10 seconds. To put the record straight, this happened in the Wanda Diamond League in Eugene. Following that, she even backed up her national championship win a few weeks later by securing a victory at the Kenya Trials for the World Championship. This time, her time was 9:21.84 in Nairobi. At the World Athletics Championships Oregon 22, she had a great run but failed to score a place for herself in the finals, although she only missed by 2 spots. And after that, Chepkoech made sure not to miss out on any other stat. This resulted in her finishing her season on a very strong note. Coming up, just a bit more about Jackline Chepkoech. After already making headway in the sport, she then went on to make a name for herself in the Commonwealth Games. Like always, she proved to be one hell of an athlete by getting a time of 9:15.68, which, by the way, became her new personal best. This resulted in her scoring the gold medal in the category. And the cherry on top was her beating Olympic winner Peruth Chemutai. But that's not where she stopped. She resurfaced with a personal best of 9:09.72 in Monaco at the Wanda Diamond League competition. And then there was more. After taking a break of 3 weeks, Chepkoech returned to the Diamond League meeting in Brussels, where she completely obliterated her previous records by finishing the race in a little over 9 minutes and 2 seconds. She finished the season by scoring the 5th position in the Wanda Diamond League final in Zurich at 9:11.06. Not her best, but it's still her 3rd fastest time. Not sure about you, but she looks like one of the best contenders for the Rising Star Award. Next up, we have Anthony Ammirati and some of his achievements. Anthony Ammirati, a French athlete and only 19 years old, specializes in pole vaulting. He was the gold medalist at the World Athletics U20 by being the world's leading pole vaulter last year. Unfortunately, he couldn't make a name for himself in the World U20 Championships in Nairobi because of 3 failures at his opening height. But that's not where his story ends. He recovered from his past failures only to once again compete in the U20 because, guess what? He's still young enough to compete. Taking that opportunity by its throat, Ammirati made sure to re-emerge as one of the top athletes of the year. This meant that he once again became the world's leading teenage vaulter. If that's not a story for the movies, then we don't know what is. Following up, taking to domestic challenges to better himself, Ammirati decided to stick with domestic competitions for the first portion of his season, but that didn't mean he would go easy. The young lad took the world's leading mark from 5.60 meters to 5.65 meters, and then to even 5.70 meters. The last was when he competed in the Senior French Championships and came in 3rd. Building on the success of that, Ammirati ended up getting himself some silver at the Mediterranean Games, and that too just 1 week after the French Championships. These guys don't rest, do they? Finally, some more adventures from the world of Anthony Ammirati. After he pretty much destroyed all records at most other competitions, it's time for him to make an appearance at the World Athletics U20 Championships in Cali for 2022. He started slowly by opening at the height of 5.35 meters, but then he started showing his true colors, slowing moving up to 5.45 meters, to then at 5.55, and finishing at 5.65 meters. Now, this may not be his best height yet, but who said he was stopping just there? Unfortunately though, he failed when the bar was raised to 5.70. Normally, you'd think of attempting to reach the same height after failure, or maybe lowering it, right? But this guy, and his confidence made him raise the bar to 5.75 meters, and then he got over it on his first try. breaking his personal best in the process. We're telling you, this is the stuff from the movies. And if you thought this was it for the season, you're wrong. After being able to dominate the major championship, Ammirati went on to compete in the international circuit for the final weeks of the season. We thought he'd just play it cool and end the season on a good note, but he had other things in mind. Ammirati decided to once again beat his previous record and got a new personal best at 5.81. This is particularly amazing because the new height lands him at only the second place on the all-time list of the World U20 for pole vaulting. The only other guy above him is none other than Mondo Duplantis. Now let's talk about the British envoy celebrating Kenyan athletes for bagging the top nomination, starting off with Jane Marriott's praise for the Kenyan athletes. It's always good to get praise from your own people, but it's an added bonus when people from outside recognize your efforts. That's exactly what the British High Commissioner to Kenya, Jane Marriott's words, would probably have felt like for the Kenyan superstars. She congratulated both Jackline Chepkoech and Faith Cherotich for being nominated for the Female Rising Star of the Year award. Marriott was particularly happy and praised them for showcasing a good image of their country to the world. She also added that the women had raised the bar for what a Kenyan athlete can do. Following up with the athletes' achievements, it's worth noting that the two women, Chepkoech and Cherotich, were only 19 and 18 years of age, respectively. Adding those two together and you only get a combined age of 37. Being so young and able to absolutely dominate their sports is not something everyone can do. In fact, it only happens once in a long time. Cherotich won the World U20 World Championships trials in only 9:18:25, while she also ended up securing the third position in the Diamond League final in Zurich. Here she was, timed at 9:06:14. To one up here, Chepkoech won the Diamond League edition of Brussels in just 9:02:43. You see, if their strategy is to just compete against each other and keep on improving like they're already showing with each step, we're afraid the other competitors would have to up their game by a lot. And not just the ones scoring less than them, but also the ones who are, as of now, better timed than they are. Finally, what does it mean to perform so well, especially for women? You know, when Marriott applauded them specifically for promoting a good image of their country, it wasn't just empty words. It meant something more than that. For starters, women for the longest time have been underrepresented in mainstream sports, so forget niche categories. In addition to that, countries like Kenya have been unfairly represented in sports owing to several factors. And all of that, athletes, especially women, going out of their way to make a name for themselves, as well as their country, is just too amazing not to be appreciated. And these nominations reflect just that. The performances by not just Chepkoech and Cherotich, but also other athletes who had amazing performances this year at the World U20 Championships and other events around the globe. The winner for all categories will be selected by some international experts and will be announced online in December. That's a wrap for this video. Who is your pick for both the men's category and the women's category of Rising Stars? Do you think someone who should have been nominated is not on the list? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.